We're talking about 9, 10, 11-year-olds who cannot give informed consent. Then they have body parts chopped off by a medical establishment and by parents who mean well but believe in these doctors, and they shouldn't. And when they inevitably get past the awkwardness of puberty or what have you, and they want to turn around and detransition, those who love bomb them on Reddit saying, come on in, the water's fine, abandon them. They are depressed. They have changed their bodies forever in a way that is irreversible. And we are all sitting back saying, it's a remote issue, as Kamala Harris said. It's not remote. It's the issue of our time, both with respect to children and women's rights.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope all's good wherever you are. Megyn Kelly was recently, a few days ago, on Real Time with Bill Maher, and I got to give Bill Maher a little bit of credit, even though this is somebody that is very liberal, that I don't tend to agree with him. He's at least having these people on, people that his audience probably don't watch Megyn Kelly's show. They probably don't watch like Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro and all these guys. And he has them on his show, which is more than I can say for a lot of liberals out there. Now, he's not a woke leftist, but the fact that he's willing to have people on, have the conversations, that's what we need from both sides. But our side is always doing it. Anyway, let's get into it. I'll give my thoughts after the clips.
I'm not saying you don't have a point. I'm just saying it's hard for people to understand why that, which is not democracy, that's the border issue. And you're right, they it up. That, with like the things he's been saying, and all the people in his administration who said he's a fascist, he wants to be a fascist, he talks like a fascist, his friends are all dictators.
I don't care about that at all. Not at all.
Because?
January 6th was not good.
Wait, why don't you care about that at all?
Because they've been saying that about Trump for years. They've been saying that about Republican candidates for years. It has like a long storied history. If you are at all center or center right, you are used to having your candidate of choice completely demonized, whether it's the F word, the R word, the misogynist word. They tried to tell us Mitt Romney was a raging sexist because of binders full of women. They tried to tell us John McCain was a raging racist, notwithstanding the fact that he had adopted a daughter from Bangladesh. They've been doing this for every Republican. They get to Trump, and we no longer are listening to them. Trump has incendiary rhetoric, there's no question, but we have 4 years to judge him by, and the country was going pretty well when Trump was in there, unlike the 4 years we've had under these two.
Well, I mean, I could argue with that too. Actually, if Trump had this economy, and I could go through all the stats, the stock market is through the roof, wages are up.
Not as high as it was under Trump.
Well, first of all, Trump inherited somebody else's economy.
That's what Barack Obama would like us to do.
Well, it's true.
Okay.
It's really on day one, everything changed.
So just walk me through it. So Trump has Obama to thank for his economy, but Biden can't thank Trump for anything.
Okay. Let's get off this. Because it's not what I really want to get to.
Yeah, there's a reason why Bill there didn't want to get into it, because that's the point. Megyn destroys him here. That shows the hypocrisy. And this is why I gave Bill a little bit of credit in the intro, because lefties generally don't want to get into any level of debate with people on the right anymore. Absolutely not. Because most of their arguments these days don't have two legs to stand on. Look at the trans argument. And Megyn's super smart. So for him to have her on in front of an audience that most likely doesn't watch her show, that most likely has a different point of view than her, even though they might not agree with her initially, she might actually change their mind and make them think of a different point of view. Because these are most likely people that are watching a lot of mainstream media that are probably very brainwashed. Let's get back to it.
Look, you want to know why I'm going to vote for him, notwithstanding what you said. And I'll give you a couple good reasons off the top of my head. Number one, what's happened with illegal immigration. I'm voting for him because I don't want any more Laken Rileys. I don't want any more Jocelyn Nungaros, the 12-year-old girl who was killed in Houston by 2 Venezuelan illegal immigrants who took her to a bridge and murdered her and threw her over the bridge.
And Americans have ever done that?
That's not the point. We have to take the Americans. I know, but we don't have to take it from Venezuelan illegals.
Oh, okay, I agree with you. I agree we took in too many immigrants. But the idea that you take in immigrants, I would assume you concede we should do that to a degree. We should take in people from other countries. We take in like 1 million legal every year.
Legal is one thing.
Anytime you take in 1 million people, some of them are going to commit crimes,
Bill,
like of any group.
Do you have any idea how many illegals we let in under Biden-Harris?
Okay, so that's your issue?
That's one of them. 10.4 million at least. That's what Customs and Border Patrol says. It's probably more. That doesn't count the gotaways. 10.4. You know how many it was under Trump? 2.3.
But that's more important than democracy and like not.
That is democracy. What is America
No,
if
it's
we
not.
let in another 20 million illegals who come into your community, who overrun your town, who endanger you, who take up social service money so that your community center closes, so that you can't pay for basic services for your townspeople?
We're talking about size of things, like Arnold Palmer.
Guys, if you don't mind smashing that thumbs up button for your boy, it really goes a long way to helping me out. And if you're not yet subscribed, and this is not the first time you're here watching one of the videos, hopefully this will be the video in which I can earn your subscription. Let's get back to it.
Almost equally important, maybe as important, is what we're doing to our children with this trans insanity. I mean, this is almost my single issue. We are chopping off the healthy body parts of young children without, 100% we are doing that.
Well, we are definitely doing that.
Without any inquisition
That's what it is. So
into
I don't know
what's
what
happening.
the oohing is about.
I don't either. Pay attention, because I'm about to give you a truth bomb. Kids who are suffering from bullying, or who have been sexually assaulted, or who are going through normal puberty and feel uncomfortable in their bodies, will say to their parents, I'm not sure, maybe I'm gender confused. They will send them into a psychiatrist or psychologist who are told by our organizations, the American Psychiatry Association, and all the others that run their licensing, you must affirm. Affirm is the only standard. And so the child gets told, you're right, you are secretly a boy, or vice versa. And the child gets put on puberty blockers, into cross-sex hormones, which sterilize a child and deprive the child of any chance of sexual pleasure for the rest of his or her life. We're talking about 9, 10, 11-year-olds who cannot give informed consent. Then they have body parts chopped off by a medical establishment and by parents who mean well but believe in these doctors, and they shouldn't. And when they inevitably get past the awkwardness of puberty or what have you, and they want to turn around and detransition, those who love bomb them on Reddit saying, come on in, the water's fine, abandon them. They are depressed. They have changed their bodies forever in a way that is irreversible. And we are all sitting back saying, it's a remote issue, as Kamala Harris said. It's not remote. It's the issue of our time, both with respect to children and women's rights.
Well, let's back up a little on that.
Guys like Bill Maher, when they don't know what to do, they throw in the corny joke. They try to get a laugh out of the crowd. But you see how good Megyn is. Calmly explains it, tells him why it's important, and then Bill gives the standard 2024 liberal response. Native Americans that are born, no, not Native Americans, but American-born citizens commit crimes as well. Yeah, that is the point, is that we have crime from our own people. Why are we taking in the criminals from other countries? Just like Megyn told him, listen, we can't do nothing about our own people. Somebody has to claim you, and you're born there, you're a citizen, but we don't have to claim the people from other countries. And we're not even claiming it. They're coming in through the southern border illegally, over 10 million from 2021 to 2024. That's over 300,000 people a month. American taxpayers spend $200 billion a year feeding, housing, and giving Medicare to illegal migrants. When I say illegal migrants, they came into the country illegally. The first step they took into the country was an illegal one. They're all criminals, all of them, and yet we're giving them a pass to citizenship and a bunch of money, housing, and Medicare. Make it make sense. The problem with a lot of guys like Bill Maher is, I think there's some guys on the left, maybe not Bill, but there's some people on the left that have common sense. We've seen so many people from the left switch sides these days because they don't identify anymore with what is now a bunch of neocon old Republicans like Dick and Liz Cheney that are joining the Democratic Party. That's why you see the Tulsi Gabbards and you see the RFK Juniors coming over. And Elon Musk, a guy who voted Democrat probably every time he voted. But Bill Maher has got TDS. Him and Trump just don't like each other, but you get to a point in life that you have to, when you're voting for a president, maybe you put that aside. Because when I tell people that don't like Trump, if you don't like Trump, if for some reason the guy offends you, don't look at it that way. If Trump's only going to be there for 4 years, I like Trump, you don't have to. Vote on policies. Vote on where you want the country to go in 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. Because by every measurable metric, 3 years ago, in the economy, because that's the most important one, people like to say Trump inherited Obama's economy. Now, if the economy was so good, Hillary would have won. Okay? The border was a problem, the economy was a problem. That's why Trump won. The border was a big one, but also the economy. It wasn't this great economy that people tell you it was. But under Trump, everything was 10 to 50% less than it is today. And that's just a fact. One spot I'll give Bill credit here is on the trans issue. He's not a crazy leftist on us. He generally, from what I've seen, I'm not a big Bill Maher follower, but from what I've seen of him when he talks about this stuff, he doesn't tend to agree with it. Now, there's an age at which you have autonomy over your own body. At 18 years old, you want to do what you want. I still think you should go see a psychiatrist. We have this age limit. That's fine. But 11, 12, 13, 14, telling little kids that they're born in the wrong body. A little boy is born in the wrong body because he likes to play with dolls, or a little girl likes to play with trucks. Those are stereotypes. You're born in the right body. What we should be telling little kids that you're beautiful just the way you are. And not letting these crazy crackpot psychologists twist everything. And now we're chopping body parts off, castrating little boys and doing double mastectomies to young girls. Absolutely ridiculous. Megyn crushed it, as usual. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that thumbs up button for your boy. Consider subscribing to the channel. Help it grow. Catch you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.